welcome to the final episode for 20 of Wind Down Fridays. I'm Shirley at bellandbless.com. I know you've missed my face. I haven't been able to record a mess. But I can say through this time, I have learned the art of resting. Like, I can honestly say from the minute that I found out I was sick and, just going through the motions, like for once in my life, I actually rested and that felt so good. So I'm so happy to be back shooting my last episode of Wind Down Fridays. As you see, I have a new set, I'll call it. So I created this, content corner where this will be my permanent background. I love it. Giving the green, tropical vibes with the pink. Two of actually my favorite colors, I will say. Pink and green have become my favorite colors. Mostly emerald green, I love, and baby pink. And, baby pink is my Bell and Blessed, main color, which I'm wearing today. So I thought, I'll incorporate those colors. I love it's giving tropical, it's giving relaxing, it's giving wind down. See my little leopard in the background. And it actually says, "You look good." So I love it. As soon as I seen it, I said, I have to have this. This will be perfect. But what is going on? We are at the tail end of the year, like 30th, literally one more day until 2023. I hope that you had an amazing year. I've said it time and time again that 2022 has been very good to me. And, at the end of last year, I really tried my best to just manifest a great year. I manifested saying over and over, this is a double from my trouble year. Like everything that I've been through from 2020 to 2021, which were not the greatest, or just unhappy moments that I had, struggles. I said 2022 is going to be the year that I give double for my trouble. It's going to be the year that I redeem myself as far as my joy, my happiness, my career. And I'll say this year showed up and showed out. So many great things. For one, I, received a promotion at work, which I did know was going to happen eventually, but it happened a lot sooner than I thought. So that was a great blessing. So it just forced me to level up and just work harder. As far as my business, I was able to finish my Bell and Blessed Life Planner, and just go a little bit more bigger and better than last year's planner that I released. So, I had stopped for a while. I stopped. Towards the tail end, I was just going through so much transition with work and personal health stuff I was going through. And I was just I don't have time to finish this. And shout out to my friend Rochelle, love her to death. She checked in with me and she was like, "What's going on with the planner? I'm looking for my 2023 one. Are you going to finish? I think you should do it. I love my last one." And, that just gave me the courage, and it just really showed me there are people that want what you have to offer, and it's so amazing because people don't always know how much of an impact they make. So she probably didn't even know how much of an impact that meant to me to push me and, really get me to finish this planner. So shout out to Rochelle, love her to death. But she definitely was one who, gave me the force to finish it, put it out there. I had it released by Christmas, which is exactly what I wanted. Ran into a slight production issues, had to resend and go back and forth. All in all, we have it. It's on the website. It's beautiful. I love it. I use it. So I'm just super thankful and blessed that I was able to release my planner on time. And just so many realms of life. You have those years where you look back and you just say, it was a good year. And I can honestly say that. Even with the challenges that came, even with the stresses, even with the worries, everything that I went through, I don't believe was in vain, ever. But anything that I felt was unpleasant this year, I feel like it only led to my growth. So super, super happy about that. And I really do hope if 2022 wasn't your year, that that you have a new 365 days coming. And I always say that, and I truly, truly believe it, that every year is just, it's as good as you can make it, and there are going to be some years, like my 30th, usually 30 is exciting and it's a new chapter. My 30th year was probably one of the hardest years I've ever had as far as transition, changes, just so many struggles that I had, and I said I don't want to begin my chapter in my 30s this way, I want to 30s, like I was so looking forward to it. And even if I celebrated, I still wasn't 100% happy, and I wasn't happy with where my 30s were heading. So now to be at 33 and just, finish a year where I feel now more than ever that I'm exactly where I want to be. And that is an amazing feeling. So I guess that's what I want to talk about today. It's a conversation that I have with a lot of friends, being that, I'm 33, I'm in my mid 30s, I'm not married, I have no children yet. I have 5 beautiful nieces and nephews, but was previously engaged, did not end up married. Not in a relationship. I'm single. I'm just a career woman having fun and hoping to, one day meet that one. That is definitely something I want. I do want a long-term relationship. But, I think it's very popular when you look at social media, especially, that we have so much outlets. Like, so I'll compare it to our parents, right? Like, my parents are in their 60s and 70s. They're baby boomers. They're first generation here in America. They're immigrants from Haiti. So I feel that, in my experience and a lot of my peers and friends and cousins even, or just people my age that have immigrant parents, may have experienced the same thing, where we were brought up in a 2-family household where our parents were married, came to this country, met, built a family, settled down, and just created a life, and I feel with their situation where they were first generation coming to this country as immigrants and trying to make it, there wasn't a lot of room for following their dreams. There wasn't a lot of room for feeling jealous even, because if you think about it, back then there was no social media. They only knew, I think that term keeping up with the Joneses came from that time period where you only knew what your neighbors were doing when you seen it. If you like, I grew up in a dead-end block with a very close-knit community, and I lived in the same house my whole life. So you tend to know your neighbors, and when they get a new car, when they have, new things, you just see it, So I think that's where keeping up with the Joneses came from. You usually would see it in your community, or you would hear about it. But we're growing up in a time where we don't have to hear it. We see it physically. So we see it on social media. We see the engagements. We see the birth announcements. We see the houses being brought. We see the career milestones. We see everyone winning on social media, right? And I think the downside to that is some of us in our 30s primarily, or even late 20s, tend to feel like, why not me? Like, what am I doing wrong? Or we may look at a certain group and say, okay, well, if they're all doing this at this stage, I should be doing it too. Or, why am I behind? Or where, I'm not where I want to be. I used to say that all the time. I'm not perfect. I really do feel like I went through like a quarter life crisis stage in my mid 20s where, like, on paper, I was doing great. I was finishing up my master's program. I had a business. This was before I had my business and I was getting my master's. So I would say like 23, 24, 25, 26. Those were ages where I was just going with the wind and kind of getting to that place where it was like, all right, what now? Like, I'm not 21 anymore. I went away to school. I had my fun. I partied. Now I'm trying to build my career, not 100% happy and working like a corporate life. Like, I know I want to be an entrepreneur. I know I want to do my own thing. How am I going to get there being broke, having student loans, living at home? It was a lot, and those were what I call the wonder years looking back. Like, I wish now that I could look back and say, it's okay, because now at 33, I'm exactly where I want to be. And in some ways I'm not, in some ways I do want more, but at the same time, I'm not going to discredit where I am now to where I want to be. So that just leads me to the point of just the importance of embracing where you are in life and knowing that life is only as great as your mindset, So there are going to be seasons that you wish you were doing more, but it's so important to rest. I think also there's this culture, this hustle culture, where it's team no sleep, team grind until I fall out. Like, we're not doing that in 2023. The girls are not doing that. 2023, I believe in working hard. I'm definitely one for working hard for what you want. I believe putting in that work, whether it's manifesting, praying, writing, ultimately doing the work, because vision boards, planning, praying, they're all great tools. But even in the Bible, God says he helps who help themselves. So you can't expect to sit back and pray and just let things fall from the sky. God is not a genie. The universe is not a genie. You know, you have to put in the work to get where you want to go. But there are seasons where rest is equally important, you know, and sowing is so important. So not every season is going to be a reaping season. You know, some seasons are just going to be there that you do the work, that you put in the time, that you don't see anything manifesting. You're just laying the seeds. It's like you're a farmer. You're just getting the crops ready. You're just tilling the soil, you know, and then they're going to be the seasons where the blessings are going to come pouring down and you're going to reap every single thing that you laid down in that foundation. But every season is not going to be the same. You know, some seasons are going to be seasons where you have lessons, you know, where it's just, you cannot win. And I've been there before. I've had seasons where in every realm, whether it's career, personal, finance, health, family, I couldn't win. You know, I looked around and it just seemed like everywhere that I looked was an issue. And, you know, that was obviously a season of lessons, you know, things that I had to sit and learn before I can reap those blessings. Because I also believe your life is written. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Your story is written. Every day you're just turning the page. So when you were born, God knew who you were, what you were going to accomplish. He knew where you were going to live, who you were going to marry, how many children you were going to have, what type of career you were going to get into, the challenges you were going to face, the lessons you were going to have to go through, the people that were going to do you wrong. That's all written, you know, and I feel like when you have a relationship with God, that's what keeps you strong, is to be able to check in and pray about those things and get answers to help you to work through those challenges. But your story's written. You know, everything that's going to happen in life is going to happen. No matter how you want to look at it, no matter how you want to stress, worry, it's all written. So all you can do is literally just take it one day at a time. Live in the present. I really, truly believe in that. Living in the present, just being happy in every stage of life of what you do, and just always embracing the changes that come in life, because they're going to happen. The same way that the blessings happen, the changes happen, whether you want to have them in your control or not. These are all stages of life. So it's just so important to embrace all of those seasons of life. When you're up, know that you may be down tomorrow. And when you're down, you're going to get back up. That's just the ebb and flow. It's a roller coaster. Nothing is perfect. Things change. And it's just a cycle of life, you know. And I think there's a beauty in that, in waking up and just being able to be grateful and know that no matter what the day brings, you're going to get through it. So that's, you know, a very important lesson that I learned this year. And just taking it one day at a time, because no matter how much we want to worry, stress, tomorrow is going to have problems of their own. So why focus on them? You know, like, that's what I tell myself. Why am I going to sit here and worry about tomorrow, what's to come, what's going to come next month, what's going to come next year? Instead, I'm going to focus my attention on what I want. And, you know, the law of attraction talks about that by Rhonda Byrne. Focusing on what you want. Think about it. Why focus on what you don't want? And I think we do this a lot. We tend to really focus on the things that we don't want. And we stress about it. We worry about it. We sit and we just get in a space of negativity. For what? Focus on what you want. Focus on writing down and working toward your goals. Focus on being the person that you want to be. The ways that you fall short. Listen, you have 365 days to get it right next year. So if you are manifesting a person that you may not like and you want to be better, you have that time. You know, that's what a whole year. You have 365 days to work toward that. And there's some things you might want to change about yourself. Like, I've been on my fitness journey, my weight loss journey, and I fell short so many times this year. Shout out to Wesley, my trainer. He'll tell you, I've gotten sick so many times. I had to stop working out. I've had to take time off. I've had to rest. I've had personal issues. So that doesn't stop me, because you know what? I texted him today and I said, listen, next week I'm back on it. We're back on training. We're back on getting it right. And we're going to continue to be consistent. And when those hiccups come and I have to stop, I'm going to take my rest. I'm going to get it right. And then I'm going to go right back to it. So I just think it's important to embrace the present and know that life is what you make it. Your mindset is what you make it. You know, keep great people around you. I've definitely learned that this year. Having positive people around you that uplift you when you're down and pour into you and really see the best in you, even when you don't see the best in yourself, is so important. And it's just so important to have positive, happy people around you, surrounding you, that believe in you, that believe in your dreams, that push you to be better, that can check you when you're not great, you know, that can really tell you, like, hey, what's going on? Like, you said you were going to do this. Let me motivate you and help you and get you to be better. So those are all great things. And I'm definitely looking forward to 2023. Just working hard on my goals, working even harder on everything that I have set up now, just really capitalizing on that every year. I tend to really have the same goals until I accomplish them for the most part. So I don't change them from year to year. I just really write them down, get them ready, take the steps to get there. I love to write roadmaps and like mind maps, I call them, probably because that's what I do for work as a program manager. I do a lot of mind mapping. So even mind mapping in my personal life helps me a lot. So it helps me to have a roadmap. If I'm saying, I want to lose X amount of pounds, I'm writing how I'm going to get there. Am I going to cut out carbs? Am I going to drink more water? Am I going to get back in the gym? Am I going to walk? Am I going to do the work to get there? I think that's so important because, we can write goals all we want, but if we don't have a logical way to get there and a way to check in to be sure that we're on track, then sometimes it's null and void. So yeah, I'm just so happy to be back. I'm happy to be able to shoot my Belle and Blessed Wind Down Fridays for you all. And I look so forward to next year. I already have some guests lined up for next year, so that will be something very different coming. To have some guests join us and just, be able to really tap into these boss babes, because there are so many of us working hard in our careers, in our craft, in our creativity, just, really trying to make it and be happy and really embrace our spirituality and who we are. So definitely excited about that. If you have not checked out our Belle and Blessed Life Planner, it is available on bellandblessed.com, BELLE and AND BLESSED. So Belle and Blessed. For those that don't know, Belle stands for beautiful in French, so that's where I got it from. And Blessed, of course, is my mantra. So I'm super excited for 2023, and I hope that you all really continue to follow me in this journey. Everyone that likes, subscribes, shares, checks in with me and tells me they like my content, I love it, and I'm so excited and happy, because that's really the reason why I record, is to help people in any way that I can say a word, or in any way that I can help others. That is what it brings me fulfillment and happiness. So I really do appreciate when people take the time to listen to my videos, watch them, give me feedback. I definitely love it. And as you know, I always like to end our segment with a card from my affirmation deck. So today I pulled this one, and it says, I accept myself as I am. So important, and I have learned this in life. If I don't love me, who is going to love me? As much as I want to manifest love and manifest a great relationship, if I don't love me, no one can love me, and if I don't love me, when I do receive that love, I may not be able to accept it because I don't know what it feels like. But when I pour into myself and I give myself that love that I'm looking for, I will be able to receive it. So I definitely embrace this, and I hope that you embrace it as well. And something that I can do today that relaxes me, I always say the same thing, is recording content. This is what makes me happy. This is what relaxes me. Thank God I go on vacation tomorrow for work, so I am off on my birthday. It's coming up. But it does relax me to shoot content for you all. It relaxes me to bring my insight into your lives. And I just am so thankful for 33. I'm thankful for a beautiful year, and I'm wishing and hoping everyone have a happy and safe New Year's. Hope you spend it with loved ones. I hope you spend it happy, in joy and peace, and that you manifest an amazing 2023. I'm so happy that you are here on the journey with me, and I thank you so much for tuning into my last episode of Wind Down Fridays. Cheers. I'm going to take a sip for you all. Take care. Stay blessed and Belle.